Welcome back, survivors and hunters. I'm SurvivalVis, and we return to Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, where last episode we had just taken down one of our 3rd gen exclusive subspecies, which was the Sand Barioth. Now we're shifting things to the other extreme, and we're going to be going after a Glacial Agnaktor. So we're going to eat again for the Temper and Polisher, because I think that works out incredibly well. And we're going to go take down... Even if Glacial Agnaktor doesn't come back, although I think he'd be an amazing fit in, like, the Frost Islands for Rise, I just hope Agnaktor comes back to Rise, because, you gotta admit, Agnaktor is a really interesting monster. He's... Actually, I'm trying to think now. We've had a Fire Leviathan as Agnaktor, a Water Leviathan as Mizutsune, a Thunder Leviathan as... Lagiacrus. I don't know why I had such trouble there. I'm wearing the freaking armor of it. And Royal Ludroth as another Water Leviathan. So I think, like, for elements, I think we're basically just missing an Ice Leviathan and a Dragon Leviathan, which could be some cool concepts when you think about it. I'm not going to count the subspecies because, again, it's kind of more the uniqueness of a monster itself. But, I mean, Glacial Agnaktor is still a great subspecies to go and showcase. So let's just read the quest info. From a solitary composer, the ear-splitting crack of calving great glaciers. What the hell are calving? Calving? The rumbling echo of colliding icebergs. I'm not sure if they, like, rumble or be more almost like how... I guess maybe it would be. I'm just trying to think. Sometimes when you hit ice, it makes this more like a chime or a higher pitch ring. Sounds of the tundra stir my soul. I must recreate them in my music. Will you escort me on an expedition to that frozen land? Sure, so what does that have to do with the Glacial Agnaktor, man? But yeah, we'll head out with this, and everything's looking good. But I'm really hoping with Rise... Ooh, actually, this is a perfect spot to start, because I may need some of what's... Okay, well, that's not exactly what I need. That's what I could use, are the Dragon Bone Relics. I think this is the only place you can actually get those. I don't think gathering anywhere else in any of the maps in this generation will get you Dragon Bone Relics aside from the secret spot in the Tundra. And these are just like in Generations Ultimate, where you can only really get up to them if you are dropped into the map in them. Actually, I guess that also means that Rise will... I mean... Oh, shoot, no pickaxe. Okay, so much for that. I guess Rise isn't going to have any areas that are going to be inaccessible thanks to the wire bugs. But I am very eager for Rise, and I think Rise is going to change up Monster Hunter incredibly forever forward. It might not do anything like the wire bugs stay in the game, but that they're going to be able to, like, with the consoles having both the bumpers and the triggers now, I think that opens up a lot more room for what you could do with Monster Hunter. Like, think about how Rise is right now, where you have the... Oh, there he is! There's Glacial. God, my mind's kind of getting distracted here. But think about how Rise is right now in that you are able to not only get airborne, but you have input while you're in the air as well. That was my biggest issue with 4 Ultimate was, once you would get in the air, you don't have any real inputs. Like, you could attack with your weapon, but it's not exactly like you could evade or dodge or block or anything like... I'd almost consider it like being locked in a way in Monster Hunter, where you have things like the Roar Lock, the Tremor Lock, the Wind Lock. You're just kind of stuck in that until you land. Whereas with Rise, if you're getting airborne, you are going to have... Ooh. Let's avoid the Ice Beam. Out of the way. Thank you. Ooh, that was actually kind of close. Okay, well, that Baggie's going to learn. Maybe we'll squeeze the reload in before we got... Speaking of Warlock, that's kind of what I mean, where you lose control of what you can actually do with the Hunter or your player character for a moment there. And in a game like Monster Hunter, those can be dangerous moments, especially as a gunner, which is where my background mostly comes from. Uh-oh. Ooh, he actually sweeps really close to himself with that one. Ow. So, right, back to Rise as I'm trying to fight this Glacial here. Right, lure him out and then go right back the way you came. That's a good way to be able to bait Agnaktor and avoid that charge. Oh, avoid the... I'm not even sure what the heck that is. It's almost like a breakdancing move. I'm going over that way. No, I'm not. Thank you for the free hits. I'm that way. No, I'm not. Yeah, it's probably the best way you can kind of counter Glacial or even regular Agnaktor because they share that kind of homing charge in a way. And I gotta admit, this is where the evade distance is really coming in handy. Ooh, nice. And just try to smack a few good shots in there. Ooh. Yeah, problem with heavy bowgun. Slow sheath time. So if I can focus enough to talk about Rise again and like... Oh, that's not good. Oh! Wow, great work, Cha-Cha. You actually broke another part off. Oh, even Jay's getting in on this. Oh, wow, Jade already left too. Okay, so Rise and wire bugs and inputs. Like, that was my big issue with Generations, well, actually, basically, since it's been introduced since the 4th gen of Monster Hunter is, when you get in the air, you have no inputs unless you're Insect Glaive, where you can get a little bit of movement. Okay, where are you popping out? Over here. And you're doing the Clak Clak, which means we gotta get in close. See if we can't break your back a bit. And with that lack of input and control, it's kind of where Monster Hunter has a lot of people can feel a bit aggravated, because, let's face it, the roar locks are always annoying to deal with. Or tremors, or wind, or anything that takes away control or input from you as a player to your character. So where I think Rise is going to set a new precedence for Monster Hunter is that it's going to open up more mobility options. Like, after Rise and, say, the wire bugs don't bring forward, you could almost just have a dedicated jump button, which would let you do aerial attacks or mount attacks. Like, imagine 4 Ultimate, where every weapon could have had a potential just do a little jump and attack and try mounting. That's kind of where I feel Monster Hunter is going to open up more, as long as it has... Oh, where did Glacial go? It's where the game is going to open up more when you have more console inputs you can have. Like, you can think of how I've been talking with, like, 3 Ultimate with underwater combat. You could have a dedicated dodge up, dodge down button instead of having to do, like, this weird shortcut combination you have to do right now. I mean, I get it, you're using a lot of ice, but that's also just making it easy for us to shoot at. I think our Agnaktor is stuck in a loop. Wow, he really is, isn't he? I think that knocked him out of it. Yeah, that knocked him out of it for sure. Wait, no, I'm not over there, but I am going to snag your shiny. Uh-oh. Ow. Kind of thought something was coming. No, lock onto him. There we go. Okay, so where are you going to... Oh, right under me. And that's another thing about the monsters from this generation. They do not stay buried for too long. They are pretty quick to dig and then be right up to get you. Yeah, we'll just unload a little bit. Oh, wow, I actually broke something there. Yeah, basically seems like if you want to really be able to beat Agnaktor's easily, always stick to the right... Stick to its left side or your right to it. Because, I mean, every attack, it really only does the sweeper beam from that one direction, I'm fairly sure. Although... Oh, is he? Yeah, he's limping. There we go. Okay, I might have to... Yeah, I'm going to make... Oh, good work, Cha-Cha. Let's make some more normal shot. Although... You know what? I think I want to capture this one as well. It might not be too easy because it's a Glacial Agnaktor, and they like to dig a lot. Oh, no. I don't want you here, too. This is not good. No, Jade. Oh, crap. And Glacial's going under. So, well, there goes that trap. Oh, okay, at least one good thing. Okay, I'm kind of hoping he'll just pop up somewhere around here now. Not exactly. This is where Agnaktor's are hard to capture in the older games, because they can break the traps you put down because of their digging and that. You need to get them to basically do this. Thank you. It's nice when the monsters cooperate with ya. But there it is, a Glacial Agnaktor. One of my favorite subspecies, because it's a nice little variation, and it's a little twist on Agnaktor. Because normally fire, if it touches lava, that weakens the armor. For this guy, the longer he's out, the weaker the ice armor is. So, as you saw, the more time that he was above ground and we were able to get more shots in, we were able to chip off a lot of pieces here and there pretty frequently. But he's enjoying a nice snooze. Looks a little comfier than Barryoth, or Sandbarryoth did in the trap, but we'll take this back, see what rewards we get, and then show off. Now, admittedly, he is just like the other subspecies where it's just a retexture of the armor, but I want to see the skills, and I want to see the heavy bowgun, because he is going to give us a heavy bowgun. Or he should, as long as we get the materials. Quest complete. We got a nice pose featuring the Sleeping Beauty here. Nope. Leave it to Bullfango to ruin that. Okay, so we got a Glacial Agnaktor Carapace, Glacial Hide Plus, blah, blah, blah. Another Carapace, a Claw Plus, a fin, and a fin. Yeah, so there's that. Save our progress. Cha-Cha's... Oh, Chief has something more to say. Cha-Cha, did you get... You did. A Carapace, a Sleep Sack, so I guess must have taken down a baggie somewhere. And something for a moment there got stuck in my throat. Okay, so, armor. Expert. Hello? Actually, I gotta admit, I really like, almost like the metallic look because of the color change. Like, Agnaktor armor isn't too bad of a look. It's just that fire attack and... I mean, I could use a little bit of it, but I think here I can use so much more of it. It'll just be, how many slots will it have on offer? Like, yeah, the helmet's a little weird, but Agnaktor helmets for gunners have always been kind of weird. Okay, so you only... Oh, you don't have many good slots, though. That's the only issue I have with this, is... I mean, you do have a 2 there. Okay, so you got 2 2s so far. Do you have another? Oh, actually didn't unlock the legs. Well, let's also look at your heavy bowgun. The Glacial Agnaktor. Yeah, it's basically just a retexture of the Agnaktor one. Oh, it gives Clust, Water, and Freeze. It's actually not too bad looking of an elemental heavy bowgun. Yeah, it doesn't really have any level 3s, so... It's not too bad. It starts at 310, which is actually rather nice. And I think... Did I need... Yeah, the pressurized blazer. If I want to upgrade the Plesioth heavy bowgun, I need a few dewy pluras, which come from Glacial Agnaktor. I just want to see about the arm for looks, because it's basically... This is the one thing about Monster Hunter I miss so much from the older generations, is how the gunner armor had the asymmetrical list to it, and that you'd have, like, almost like the buckler on your one arm to protect your other side, or basically have in front of you because of how you're fighting. It just seemed to add so much more flavor to some of the armor sets. I mean, hell, look at Diablos. You basically have a giant drill for a... Actually, no, you have a lance on one hand. Yeah, I do miss that quite a bit, although... Actually, I'm surprised that Nogre had a little bit of asymmetry to his armor. Raki... kind of does. Looks like somebody's a lefty. Durambros was... Yeah, Durambros had a neat one where it had one of those, almost like the horn going off there, but... That was Glacial Agnaktor. I'll probably be doing quite a bit of farming in my own time, but before we go, we'll talk to the chief. My first encounter with the Ivory Lagiacrus led to an epic battle. I actually ran into it by accident while outstalking another monster. Our first battle ended in a stalemate. I tried hunting it a second time, then a third, then a fourth, and on and on. Each hunt ended in failure and frustration. Eventually, I started thinking of the Ivory Lagiacrus as more than just a monster. It became my nemesis, my obsession. I wonder what it thinks of me. Anyway, a man can only lose so many times before he calls it quits. And so my story ends, kid. Yeah, I think we've all kind of run into some encounters with Monster Hunter like that. Fatalis in Iceborne was definitely like that for me. I still hate how they decided to do us dirty with that. How the head's not a weak spot for gunners. Made it so much more difficult. But I'll probably just do a little bit of outfitting here as I wrap the episode up. Thank you guys, as always, for joining me on another episode of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. If you do like the video, be sure to give us a like, and if you do have any comments, tips, or tricks, or if you have any requests for what kind of gear or equipment you'd like to see us have in-game, be sure to let me know in the comments. Because of it being an older game, it's not easy to see the full armor set unless it's actually properly made and in-game. So if you guys do have a monster you'd like to see the armor set of, just let me know, and I can always try doing my best to farm up and show it to you in a video. I have to say, because I'll be doing a little bit of farming after this, there's probably going to be a good potential that if you guys leave comments early on the previous episode or this one, I can squeeze them in just the next 1 or 2 episodes. Well, that looks about everything for now. So once again, thank you guys very much for joining me, and hopefully I will catch you all in the next video. Please remember, as always, hunters and survivors, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.